I'm Faye Watt, and let's queer up the USA view. Hotspots magazine shines a light on how to help fight holiday hunger. Our Hotspots Happening Out LGBTQ lifestyle magazine, Hotspots, is back with features on how each of us can make a meaningful difference this holiday season. One powerful highlight focuses on nationwide efforts to fight hunger, a struggle affecting more than 47.4 million people across the United States each year. Each holiday season, thousands of Charles Schwab employees mobilize to support families facing food insecurity through meal packing events and nonprofit grants. Kristen Dixon, managing director of Charles Schwab Community Affairs, said, quote, "As we gather with loved ones this season, it's important to remember that not all of our neighbors have that security. By working side by side with local hunger relief organizations, we're helping ensure more families can share in the joy of a holiday meal and the peace of knowing they are supported," end quote. The feature outlines 3 ways readers can take action: donating non-perishable or funds to local food banks, volunteering time to sort, pack, and distribute meals, and supporting community partnerships like Schwab's collaboration with Harvest Pack, which will help pack more than 1 million meals this year. This feature story and many more are included in your free copy of the upcoming issue of Hotspots magazine on stands this Thursday, November 20th. You know, the holidays are not a Hallmark movie for everybody. You know, some of our neighbors are deciding between gifts and groceries, and that's the kind of plot twist nobody asked for, especially this year. You know, I love that Hotspot is spotlighting real practical ways to help. You know, the Pink Nail Society had a food drive, right? Harmony Waves had a food drive. Gray Box Theater had a food drive. Hunters had a food drive over the weekend, right? You know, I am taught at Unity on the Bay that you can give your time, talent, or tithing, right? You can give money if you have it. Give it, right? If you have time, support one of these organizations. I bet you they need people to transport the food to people in need or sorting or whatever it is, you know? Or maybe you can bring in your own non-perishable things. But there's a way for each and every person to help.
I think that's fantastic. I try to volunteer with the military families, Thanksgiving, where you assemble a Thanksgiving package with a turkey and all the dressing and stuff. And then, you know, the military families come there, and you just need people to just put stuff in a box. Mm-hmm. Like, you don't have to have any real talent, you know, to do it. Like, you just show up, and it feels good. You know, it's one of those things where you meet people in your community that you never knew about, and you make connections that end up lasting. I've met so many people in these events that I end up seeing all around town now whenever I'm in the grocery store or something like that. Yeah. It makes you feel really good. It's something that we all need to be doing as citizens of our city. If you are saying to yourself, like, you haven't volunteered for anything, you need to do something. You know, if it's not this, it's something else. Like, we all are supposed to be helping our city. And I'll tell you, my mom, I grew up in a house where, like, hunger was the thing that you were not allowed to have anybody within your sight. If you were going down the street and you see a homeless person, my mom would always say, you have to help somebody. Aww. Because she grew up in Trinidad. She was kind of a well-to-do family, but there was so much poverty there. Of course. And she grew up with that, and she said, anytime you see somebody that's hungry, you have to feed them. It's like a must. Yeah. You know, so I grew up with that.
I think we're in a very particular time right now, finishing, you know, this federal shutdown that we just had just a week ago. And, you know, families were struggling, and they had to use their savings. Yep. You know, people that were going paycheck to paycheck, you know, they're basically just barely making it right now. So the time couldn't be, you know, better for these food, you know, sources to be offered to people that need it. And, you know, we go through this every year. We have, you know, especially in Miami, in places like Miami, when the disparities are so broad, you know, between the rich and the people who don't. That don't, you know, and it's Miami is one of those places. And then we look down at the people that don't, and, you know, like the city outlaws, you know, even people. But, you know,
it's against the law to be homeless.
Right, against you know, begging for money. Yeah. And it shouldn't just be this time, but, you know, we create laws to keep to get away from those people, and it shouldn't be that way. I think that we should, be more conscious about this year round, not just, for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, but have you been to the grocery store lately? I mean, everything is just so expensive, You're saying that, like, we shouldn't just do this during the holidays. Well, let me just point out that we are on the Sunshine Cathedral, right? A plaza right now, right? And every Wednesday, they've been giving away food, okay? All year. They've been giving away food every Wednesday. They give somebody a whole bag of groceries with enough food to last them at least a week or two, right? And they have said, Reverend Ann has said that the amount of people have doubled.
I believe it.
Yes.
Okay, and at this last Wednesday, almost tripled, right? And they start at 11 a.m. If you hear me and you are food insecure, you can come right here to Sunshine Cathedral and grab a bag of groceries. I mean, it's, people are choosing between, like, do I pay rent or do I get food for my kid? And that should not be something that you have to decide. It shouldn't.
And with the prices that are coming for your health insurance, things are going to be really very difficult coming January. So.
If you can't help your neighbors directly, help them indirectly by donating, volunteering. And if somebody has needs assistance, then they can use this as a place to get some guidance as to where to go to get assistance.
Yeah, spread the word. Put it on your social media so that people who may not want to admit that they're having the problems that they're having, because you might think that they're okay because they were for a while and then now they're not. So if you put up the resources on your social media, they can help.
And you can't even tell, right? It'd be like, oh, you're thinking that your gay boy's on a diet because, a lot of gay boys don't eat because they're trying to stay slim, right? And then it's like, no, there's a food insecurity. There's a food insecurity there. And it's just sad, all right? It really is. So, folks, there is no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by sharing them and subscribing to Queer News Tonight.